Today, since our public schools are run by Marxists, Papists, and Sodomites, one never hears how Martin Luther and John Calvin were founding fathers of the United States of America. After all, the devil knows it's hard to dumb down a population, to demoralize it, to control it, and to eventually destroy it after he's done playing with it, if truth is regularly taught to its children. Why, if children were actually made to read the Bible, Martin Luther and John Calvin, then when would they have time to learn how to be a socialist, a papist, or a sodomite? When would they learn how to fornicate like godless heathens, to use recreational drugs to waste all their time and ruin their lives, and to be useful idiots? Why, if children were taught the Bible, then they might not believe they can change genders, or marry a member of the same sex and become a family, or that murdering children before they are born is morally acceptable. Can you imagine? Why, if children were to sit down and read the Bible for themselves, then they might just believe it. Then they will believe in original sin, justification by faith alone, and that leads to the Protestant work ethic, a constitutional democratic republican government, free markets, everything popes and devils hate. Well, Old Scratch seems safe for now, but I will leave you with this fine quote from Martin Luther, the forgotten founding father of the United States of America, who teaches from Scripture alone that the political concept of governing a nation of men by having another mere man to be their king or dictator, what is called a monarchy in the philosophy of politics, is unbiblical and even idolatrous. This sets up the Bible's political teaching that the correct form of human government is representative, that is, a republic based on a constitution, a government of laws, not of popes and kings, for Christ alone is our king. Martin Luther writes the following, I quote, "The Jews used to swear by Milcom, or by the king, that is, they would trust in the king, and this we owe to God alone. The Lord used to rebuke them in this matter when they had chosen a king contrary to the Lord. They would trust the king that he would see to it, that they would be safer under his guard and protection than under the protection of the Lord. They were not entrusting themselves to God alone. They were putting their trust in the king, just as other nations did. As Scripture says clearly in 1 Samuel 8:19-20, we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all the nations, that our king may govern us and go out before us and fight our battles, etc." So also here the prophet says that the people were giving the king the honor and swearing by him which was due to God alone. End quote. Luther's Works, Volume 18, page 324. Now that's some good stuff from old Martin Luther, who wrote that in the 1500s.